Welcome to Tinkercad. Before we get started on the gallery workshop project today, I want to introduce you to some of the basic commands of Tinkercad to help you get started. In the very center of the screen is the work plane. Imagine this as the flat surface where you will build your project. It's important to remember that anything you want to 3D print or laser cut must lie above this surface. At the top of your screen is the toolbar. On the left-hand side are buttons to copy, paste, duplicate, undo, and redo. On the right-hand side are buttons to group, ungroup, align, and mirror objects. For all of these commands, you can also use the keyboard commands shown in the parentheses. Tinkercad allows you to import both 2D and 3D files into your design. The Export button allows you to download your file for both 3D printing and laser cutting. You can even share your design with others by generating a link to your design. The right-hand toolbar has all of the available shapes for you to design with. By default, you can see the basic shapes of Tinkercad, but there are also text, symbols, connectors, and extras. The Community Featured tab has some unique shapes and designs from other Tinkercad members. To add a shape, simply right-click on the shape and drag it directly onto the work plane. One of the new features of Tinkercad is that you can now adjust the dimensions of the shape by typing values in the Inspector tab. You can still adjust the size of the shape by clicking on any of the white or black squares. As I hover my mouse over any square, it will tell me the dimensions of the object. Clicking on the corner allows me to change both sides of the box at the same time. However, it might be best to click on the black square if I only need to change one side at a time. Clicking on the white square on the top of the box will change the height of the box. One important thing to notice is that once you scale a shape, the values won't match with the values shown in the inspector. The black arrows allow you to rotate the box. Notice that if I rotate the box with my cursor close to the center of the circle, it rotates by 22.5 degrees. If I move my cursor outside of the circular ruler, I can make more precise adjustments. Tinkercad automatically defaults to adjust the size of the shape by 1 mm. However, if you need more precise adjustments, use the snap grid on the bottom right-hand corner and change it to 0.1, 0.25, or 0.5 mm, whichever best suits your needs. If you want to work in inches instead of millimeters, you can also edit the properties of your grid. Now take a look at the left-hand side of the screen, where you will see the viewing cube. Because you are working in 3D, it is important to remember that you can view the shapes from any angle. This viewing cube looks a little different from the previous version of Tinkercad. For example, clicking on the top of the cube will give you a bird's eye view of your design. You can zoom in and out by using the scroll wheel on your mouse. You can also right-click on your mouse and while holding, drag the mouse around to change your view. By looking at the cube, you'll know exactly which side of your design that you are looking at. Clicking on the Home button returns you to the original view. The button just below it will zoom in on the object selected. You can even switch between orthographic and perspective views. To create a hole, either drag one of the two pre-made holes, or you can drag any object onto the work plane and click on the Hole button. When its coloring changes to the gray stripes, you'll know that the shape has been turned into a hole. Remember, anywhere the hole intersects with the solid object, it will subtract from that object. To group two objects together, select both objects and click on the Group button. As you can see, we have now combined two objects into one, and now have a more accurate idea of what our design looks like. If you need to make adjustments, simply ungroup and adjust. Lastly, let's say that we want to align two objects together. To do this, select both objects and click on the Align button. When prompted with the Align tool, the black circles allow you to choose how to align the objects. You can align objects in the X, Y, and Z axis. Hovering your mouse over any circle will give you a preview of how your two shapes will be aligned. For example, to center the object, click on the middle circles in both the X and Y directions. I'd also recommend immediately grouping the objects together so that you don't have to constantly keep aligning them. Great! You are now well equipped to get started on the Gallery Workshop project. Have fun, be creative, and let's start tinkering!